Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. This morning we've got Scott Gerard on the line. He is with the Fitchburg Star, editor and extraordinaire. That's what I like to call him anyways.
Too kind.
Yeah. How we doing this morning, Scott?
Doing pretty well. I can't complain about the meeting last night going too late, so yeah.
That's how it always works out really well. So we got three topics here this morning to recap from the meeting. And the first one starts with the Anton Drive discussion, if you want to get us updated there.
Sure. So a couple weeks ago, the council was considering the Anton Drive redevelopment plan, which had been worked on for a little over a year by a committee. And developed, and it's would be smart code based and kind of outlined the general direction for the neighborhood over there, which is near the fire station and Jamestown areas. And a couple weeks ago, Alder Carol Poole, who represents that district, had some concerns about the density that was proposed, and was very concerned about the possibility of high density apartment buildings being right next to existing single family homes, and just how that would look and the problems that could create for some single family homes. So they ended up tabling it with some potential ideas for how to ensure that didn't happen. But this week it came back, and Carol said, after talking to a few people about her concerns, she felt a lot better about it and was comfortable approving it on Tuesday, and was happy with the flexibility that could be allowed in the future if trends change for interest in certain types of development and things like that. So that passed, I believe, unanimously. There was a bit of a discussion about a lack of parkland in that area, the city in general. Jake Johnson, who's on the Parks Commission, wanted to do an amendment that would kind of ensure there was more parkland, but after some discussion, they realized that amendment really wouldn't have the effect that he intended or anyone intended, so they decided just to leave the plan with a strong encouragement for developers to provide parkland rather than paying money to not provide parkland, as is their option based on city ordinances. But it ended up being a unanimous yes for that neighborhood plan, so that's a big deal and a process that's played out for over a year, so it was good to see that come to an end.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of committee work on that, and if you wanted to catch any of those committee pieces or you catch what they said, certainly go back and catch it on FACTv on the Gov channel. Another big topic that's been floating through the committees and hit into council was the dog park talk, so get us updated there.
Yeah. So that has certainly been a topic of great interest, I think, from a lot of people in the city. It would be Fitchburg's first dog park. So they've had bits and pieces of it come forward. A few weeks ago, they had a discussion about an agreement for some engineering costs for the park, proposed park area, which is at the northeast corner of Irish Lane and Fish Hatchery Road. So what they were considering Tuesday was the site plan, and as Carol Poole put it pretty directly, this was approval of the dog park. She had some concerns about the process that she expressed, and a few other people have expressed those concerns, but ultimately it was approved, so there's a plan for that site to be used for a dog park, and that's going to move forward. There was a lot of discussion about that process, and then there was discussion about kind of an agreement between the city and the Fitchburg Dog Park advocates, which have been raising money to help fund certain parts of the dog park, and whether the council should adopt a memorandum of understanding that the Fitchburg Dog Park advocates had proposed. The city staff had recommended a slightly different version of a similar type of document, and they ended up approving that version, the staff recommended version. And as Pat Stern put it, he saw it as a starting point for negotiations with the FDPA to come up with a very much more specific memorandum of understanding in the next few weeks, because there was concern because the dog park advocates had not had a chance to see that staff-reviewed memo, but everyone on council seemed to indicate they understood this was a starting point and something to build off between the two groups.
Yeah, so more to come then.
Yeah, but it looks like work is going to start this spring and summer, but definitely still some specifics to be worked out.
Right. All right, last but not least, Pat Stern, one of a few of the alders not returning for the next session, if you will, kind of gave a spirited going away, I don't know what you want to call it. You name it for me, Scott.
A spirited goodbye. We'll call it a goodbye. It was,
there you go.
He's been on the council for 6 years now, and there will be one more meeting with this council after the election, but he said he would be gone on spring break. So he thanked his family and, just thanked them for the sacrifice they've made for all the missed family time. Then he also had a lot of nice words to say for some city staff members who he said helped him through learning the city processes, and he specifically mentioned Clerk Patty Anderson and the clerk's office growth, and then Misty Dodge and the finance department's growth, and he's just very proud of those things. Had some words of advice going forward for future alders, and then Mayor Arnold asked for a round of applause for Pat to recognize his service. So it was a very nice moment on the council, which is not always known for those types of moments. So
Right. Yeah, no, that's good that he got it in, and said that for the next, there'll be one more council meeting with the current group, as it were, and then things will switch by. Scott, I appreciate you giving us the time here as normal. We try to do council recaps with Scott after each council meeting the Thursday following, so appreciate the time, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, Scott, thank you. And we'll take a very quick break. We'll wrap it up next right here on Talking Fitchburg.